What if the key to better health, more energy, and even slowing down aging was already inside you? Today, we're breaking down exactly how hydrogen works in your body, on a cellular level, in your mitochondria, and throughout your entire system. No fluff, just the real science of why this tiny molecule is a game changer. That's coming up next. Stay tuned. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome in to the Healing with Hydrogen podcast, where science meets natural wellness to bring you the future of optimizing health and longevity with hydrogen therapy. My name is Logan Hart.
And I'm Will Keller.
And as I said, today we are talking about just the nitty-gritty, the nuts and bolts of how hydrogen actually behaves when it enters your body through the various different delivery methods that there are. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Will, why does this matter in the bigger scope of hydrogen therapy?
Yeah, it matters greatly because we have to have a clear understanding of what the therapy that we are taking in, right? What is H2 and how does it work in the body? And real quick, just, some common misconceptions. When we say H2, we're talking about molecular hydrogen. So there's 4 forms of hydrogen, and we are talking about 2 atomic hydrogen atoms bonded together, and that gives us the molecule of molecular hydrogen. So this is a neutral charge molecule. And again, hydrogen is the smallest molecule, so it can absolutely go all throughout the body, and it has a profound impact. So, we can make better decisions, not only on just the awareness of hydrogen therapy, but also on the administration options and the products as well. So hydrogen therapy is gaining traction in the wellness space, and understanding the mechanisms will help people cut through the misinformation and the hype.
Exactly. In this podcast, we're really trying to structure it to be a methodical, step-by-step progression, taking you from zero knowledge into deep competency on this modality. So we want to try to avoid repeating ourselves too much in each episode. So if you want to start from the beginning, we highly recommend go to episode 1. What is hydrogen therapy? And go from there. So this one, we're just sticking on the topic of what is actually occurring in the body when the H2 molecule is going in.
Absolutely. So how hydrogen enters the body. So there's 2 primary ways, and that is through molecular hydrogen being dissolved into water. Another misconception, people say, well, there's already hydrogen in water, H2O. That's not what we're referring to. We're referring to a process where the molecular hydrogen is dissolved into water. This would be hydrogen water. Or you can also breathe that gas through the same process, and that is an inhalation method. So what does it do when it goes in the body? Again, molecular hydrogen being the smallest molecule. When you're drinking hydrogen water down the throat, it instantly goes into the stomach and then the intestinal tract. And then from there, it goes into the bloodstream, which goes directly to the liver, then the heart, then the lungs, and throughout the body. So there's a stepwise process. Within 60 seconds, the molecular hydrogen is already going throughout the body. So you can even see in something like inhalation, you kind of bypass certain processes from the stomach, the gut, to the liver. When you're breathing molecular hydrogen, it's going straight to the lungs, straight to the bloodstream. So there's pros and cons that we'll touch on those aspects in a future episode. But being bioavailable and just having prime absorption is one of the key factors for molecular hydrogen. When it enters the blood, it's something called passive diffusion, meaning because H2 is so small, the molecule, and it is neutral, it can go right through the cellular membrane straight into the mitochondria and the nucleus of the cell. And that's where it works its magic. So primarily, it's about 60 minutes for inhalation for the H2 to exit the body, and that's done through exhaling, right? So that's an hour within your body. After that hour, it's pretty much all out, but the effects from the H2 on the cellular level can last up to days. Sometimes even the science is showing up to 5 days, 5 to 6 days. So that's pretty incredible. Why that's important is that there's no compounding effect. There's no buildup. It's not stored in the tissues. Remember, we're talking about hydrogen. It's the essence of the universe. This is fully natural. The body itself produces small amounts of molecular hydrogen gas in the gut. This is why eating your fiber is very important. So being absorbed by the body in the blood and down to the cellular level, this can reach every organ and every system in the body within minutes. So it's fantastic.
Exactly. Yeah, and then the next thing that it's doing within a very short time of entering is it's having a profound, powerful antioxidant effect. So, you know, it's targeting the free radicals and the oxidative stress, but in a selective manner. So it doesn't just completely eradicate every single free radical. The body actually needs a certain level of those to maintain homeostasis. So somehow it's smart, it's intelligent, it knows how to target the most harmful ones. What are those called again?
The hydroxyl
Hydroxyl.
radicals. Yep.
Right. Specifically hydroxyl radicals. And for those unfamiliar, a free radical is just an unstable molecule that causes damage within the cell. It also accelerates aging and contributes to chronic disease, DNA damage, and cellular damage, and things like that. So, most antioxidants are just blanket protectors. They just neutralize everything that they come in contact with. Hydrogen is selective. It only targets those hydroxyl radicals and leaving the beneficial ones alone. So what does this mean? It means that there's less overall oxidative damage, reduced cellular stress, and better overall cellular function. So this is incredibly beneficial to overall health because oxidative stress is linked to a plethora of different chronic conditions and potentially fatal conditions: cancer, neurodegenerative diseases, cardiovascular issues, and so on. So hydrogen combats all of these at the root level and takes those out, prevents them from even forming.
Absolutely, man. Another hallmark of this beautiful compound, molecular hydrogen, it's the cellular communication and the balance that it brings. So hydrogen isn't just about neutralizing bad stuff, it also helps the cells communicate better. It's a signaling molecule. So this adds profound positive influence on the systematic the systems of the body itself. So it supports the natural cell signaling, homeostasis, balance, and just improves overall function, right? Because molecular hydrogen can get down to that cellular level and affect the mitochondria, it can help in the regulatory of inflammation responses by signaling, turning on and off certain proteins and enzymes that induce inflammation and wreak havoc on the whole body. So it plays a role in modulating gene expression. Again, turning on and off certain some gene markers and expressions, primarily for oxidative stress, inflammation, and the effects of that show profound benefits in certain ailments, diseases, mental issues as well. So it's increasing the longevity of the pathways as well. After it does its job, hydrogen converts the hydroxyl radical, which is like Logan said, it's an unpaired element, and it turns it into non-toxic byproduct, which is water. So one of the cleanest and easiest, safest ways to support cellular health. That's important because the majority of drugs, supplements, and other chemicals that people might take for their wellness, they have an issue with, one, bioavailability and absorption, so they don't even get out of the intestinal tract, or they're not activated in the liver. And there's that buildup of chemicals, and you get byproducts, and you get the compounding effects, which actually in some cases cause more damage than what you were initially trying to do on a positive level with that supplement, drug, or chemical. So,
Exactly.
yep, go
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah. So, as Will mentioned earlier, another aspect of where this molecule is able to penetrate deep into the body and in the cellular level is in the mitochondria, and this creates profound um, energetic, right? Because your cells are a electromagnetic network that is your power supply of your body. So the mitochondria is the power plants of your cells. So and they produce ATP, which is where it's essentially the universal energy currency of the body. This is where they're made. And so just a natural byproduct of this energy production creates a certain level of oxidative stress, which can eventually damage the mitochondria over time. Once those mitochondria become dysfunctional and too damaged, your energy levels are going to drop significantly and your aging accelerates. So, how does hydrogen actually support the mitochondrial function? Hydrogen, as we've discussed, it reduces oxidative damage naturally, and it can penetrate deep inside the mitochondria. So, this allows them to function more efficiently. This will enhance the overall ATP production, leading to higher energy levels, better endurance, and improved cellular repair. So they're able to constantly be repairing themselves and basically keeping them in a peak condition. The research that's coming out is suggesting that hydrogen may help stimulate mitochondrial biogenesis, which means the creation of new mitochondria. So this is a game changer for the energy levels. I mean, people are addicted to things like energy drinks, coffee. They live on that stuff because their cells are just so bogged down with oxidative stress that they're only functioning at a small percentage of the way they're supposed to be, the way we're supposed to feel naturally when our body is functioning the way it's supposed to.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, well said, for sure. So we touched on some of the main attributes of the benefits of molecular hydrogen and the science, what it's doing inside. Let's talk about another major one that has a lot of profound studies showing with brain health and the neuroprotection that molecular hydrogen can utilize. So hydrogen's ability to cross the blood-brain barrier is incredible. So most antioxidants struggle to reach the brain itself, but hydrogen, being the smallest molecule, can pass through very easily and effectively. This allows hydrogen to reduce oxidative stress and inflammation directly in the brain, protecting the neurons from damage and also hindering and dismantling the potential for these cytokine storms, which are the precursors to major damage and cognitive issues. So the studies suggest hydrogen may enhance memory, focus, and mental clarity by reducing oxidative stress in brain cells. Again, on that cellular level. One of the most profound and common antidotes that people say is the lifting of brain fog, the mental clarity as well. So hydrogen's role in supporting neurotransmitters, their function and repair and protection, that also will improve mood, reduce stress, promote mental resilience, better sleep, etc.
Mm.
So the potential role in the neurodegenerative diseases, early research indicates hydrogen may help slow or prevent conditions like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's by reducing the neuroinflammation and the oxidative damage. So, and even some studies suggest hydrogen therapy can improve symptoms in individuals with those neurodegenerative disorders as well. So, of course, brain fog, mental fatigue, these are big ones that hydrogen therapy can, garner great aid in. And all that stuff is due to inflammation and oxidative stress, and that stems from poor mitochondrial function, right? You having low energy on the cellular level in that ATP sector. So improves cognitive energy and mental sharpness, making it useful for individuals with high cognitive demands.
Mhm.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and think about what this picture is that's painting here is mind, body, spirit, right? We talk about the energy levels, the ability for the body, the organs, the cells to do what they're designed to do, and then you're looking at the effects on the brain, lifted brain fog, improved cognitive function, and what do these things create a condition of more joy and ability to like enjoy, like to live your life, to go after your dreams, right? And that's where the spiritual is a culmination of everything. It's that sort of abstract part that when you have all the pieces in alignment, that's when your soul really comes alive. So this is truly life changing when you look at it this way. And yet another big aspect of what this molecule is doing in the body is, as we've mentioned here already a little bit, is the control of inflammation in the body, which is the silent killer, right? This is one of the most common underlying issues that are linked to virtually every other type of disease and illness that we know of. So people have a false idea about what inflammation is. The inflammation is a natural body response. It's there to actually protect your immune system, right? To fight off illnesses, to burn up pathogens. But chronic inflammation contributes to, as I said, many diseases like arthritis, cardiovascular issues, autoimmune disorders, and on and on. And the longer this goes on through, long-term inflammation, this further accelerates the aging and the cellular damage. And the further along this gets, the harder it is to repair that, right? It becomes more permanent. So, how does hydrogen do this? It modulates inflammation and helps regulate your inflammatory pathways, particularly NFKB and COX2, very technical jargon, but ultimately these play key roles in the body's inflammatory response. So it doesn't suppress the necessary immune functions, but it helps restore the balance. Because again, the goal is not to just suppress symptoms. You want to soothe and shift the imbalances that are causing the disease in the first place. So studies are showing that hydrogen reduces pro-inflammatory cytokines, which are involved in the chronic disease progression, the progression of chronic diseases. So this leads to very real-world benefits. This looks like reduction in joint pain and stiffness for those with arthritis and other inflammatory conditions, faster recovery times for athletes due to that lower inflammation, potential benefits for gut health, as inflammation in the digestive system is also linked to many chronic issues. The gut is very crucial to overall health. So you heal the gut, you're moving that mountain to, towards better health.
Yeah, man, those are really good points. And when you're mentioning, like the NFKB, and another pathway is the NRF2 pathway. These are enzymes and protein pathways that can turn on and off, and this is where the signaling potential of molecular hydrogen come in. And again, jargon for sure, but just understanding that molecular hydrogen can activate those at the source level. It's like almost like a switchboard on the motherboard itself, getting down to those cellular levels to turn off inflammation at its source, to turn on natural antioxidant production in the body. So it's an ultimate aid, boost, assistance, and security for the body, for sure. So, and I mean, conventional anti-inflammatories can't even do that. And in fact, in most cases, they cause more harm than good. So it's fascinating, and there's definitely more discovery with molecular hydrogen on different disease models. And I mean, we already know that it affects positively every organ of the body, and there's just more to come in that realm of the benefits of H2. It's exciting. Absolutely. It's very exciting.
Absolutely, yeah. So let's go over kind of the key takeaways from what we've covered here today.
Yeah, so hydrogen works at the cellular level to reduce oxidative stress and improve overall function, full system function. It enhances the mitochondrial performance, leading to better energy and production. It helps control inflammation, which is linked to most chronic diseases. And it supports brain health by crossing the blood-brain barrier and protecting neurons. And I will also add, it will also induce the body's own natural antioxidant systems and pathways.
Yeah, it's a lot to consider. And man, it's incredible that one little tiny molecule can do all of that in the body, and in such a simple way as sitting there, breathing through your nose, or drinking a glass of water, watching TV, reading a book, playing with your kids, whatever it might be. And all the while, all this miracle is happening inside the body.
Oh yeah.
So this is why we are just so in love with hydrogen and want to shout from the rooftops and get people activated and engaged in this, right? And start benefiting from that themselves. So if you're interested in learning more about what we do, what we are offering in terms of hydrogen therapy, we want to invite you to check out our free webinar. That link is below, and it's going to give you really the quick overview, the bird's eye view of the main benefits, the ways that you can get it, and like I said, the ways that we are offering to give people access to this amazing therapy. So do check that out below.
And guys, go to our link tree and you can find all of our social media platforms. Follow us on your preferred platform and drop a message and a comment, and subscribe on the social media platforms.
That's right. Get that little daily dose of hydrogen in your news feed. We hope you enjoyed this episode as well. If you did, please consider liking the video. It helps the channel grow, and be sure to subscribe as well and turn on all notifications. And be sure to share it as well with someone that you think might benefit, whether they're just a biohacker or someone that's struggling with a chronic disease, or just somebody that wants to really optimize, or someone that's getting a bit older and they're looking to really lean into their own longevity, right? And make the most of their final years.
Yeah, also, guys, we want to hear from you. So do you have any questions or experiences with hydrogen therapy? Drop a comment, shoot us a message. We want engagement. We want to interact with the viewers. So we'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely. So again, If you haven't already, just go back to the first episode, check that out. We've made it easy for you and put them all in a playlist. So in just a few moments, it will show up on the screen over here. The whole playlist will be there for you to watch all the episodes one by one. So that's all we have for you in today's episode. Thank you for tuning in to Healing with Hydrogen. And until next time, stay healthy, stay curious, and keep optimizing your wellness.